You got to know when to hold, know when to fold, and you got to count your blessings when sitting at the table. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, doggy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, it has been a scorcher for the day. Baby. And don't leave your children and dogs and cats in a car with the windows rolled up. Unless you want to add another statistics. Unless you want to add other statistics, unless you want to add another statistic to the death row of loved ones of your own. That's what I mean to say. Oh, wow. Just when you thought that the corona fag virus, the COVID-19 homo pandemic, is more than enough to deal with, only to have matters complicated to compound the problem with the way that these weather temps are astronomically, phenomenally record breaking. I feel sorry for those homeless persons. I really do. And they're done it, don't do it again. So they thought. Whether temps Mother Nature, be it natural or unnatural, got me drinking from a 2 liter straight from it of a non-alcoholic beverage, not even bothering to pour it into a container. Just that hot today. I mean, just as long as it wasn't hot like it was yesterday, but then it's hot enough, more than enough. In its own, I say in its own right for the day. You can't gamble with the life. You hear what I'm saying? Times like these, we don't need just us, but let's say, hold up, though, y'all. I got my fan on, but I can't hear the news. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to, you know, watch the news at 5 and 6 o'clock. I hold it. I don't have to be able to have to, you know what I'm saying? Turn one of these electronic meters or devices off, some such other at that. So I can hear what's being said. Sorry about that, y'all. With a brief intermission, interlude. What I said, damn back. Yeah, baby. It was a scorcher today. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All that. Lord, help us all. Help us one and all. Ooh, wee. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, oh, God. Pray for rain, pray for rain, pray for rain. But then it did rain the other night. But was it enough? Oh, oh Lord, have mercy. But then I got some crank caller keep calling me from Jamaica. I'm like, MF, effing idiot, I don't know you. Who called me, man? What's your problem, faggot? Like I said, I'm going to text that cocksucker and let him know, regardless of how I feel about that, you know. And when push comes to shove, as last resort, last alternative, I will not only silence, now I'm thinking about social media, silence on this chat. I'm going to block one altogether. Okay. When I get sick and tired of it, call me at some inconvenient time. Just some ornery, obnoxious, ugly, evil, wicked person going all out of one way to attempt to be a pain and a patootie, put it mildly, but then that's not the half of what I meant to say. Other than that, how y'all doing? Well, let me first of all get off into the intro before we were to go there. Okay. Hello, hey, hi everybody. Social media family being or whatsoever races, but they're not necessarily being or whatever walks of life, fashions of society, lifestyle preferences. And not that I'm trying to diss anybody. I mean, why can't we all just get along? But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to keep it real, trying to keep it 100, like. No, that wasn't. Oh, gay joke and other kind of joke. I did count to 100 both my hands, and as I had threw it up 10 times, keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be 100% legit as in telling the truth. Even at those times, I could be playing a part of devil's advocate. That's to you. Been a prodigal son. And y'all, you know who the worst of two yous is, or like those false brethren, false prophets, and antichrist, of modern day religious Pharisees and Sadducees, of wolves and sheep clothing, snakes in the grass, religious church hypocrites, shysters, charlatans, con artists, chameleons, whatever. And as the devil and the demons come forth as angels of light, and whereas those men are the worst of the worstest of unbelievers and non-believers, men are deceivers who pretend to be believers in God. The likes. Again, likewise, or as well, all the same are the worst of the worstest of vampires and vampiresses, being of a religious nature, of closet devil worshippers, being of whom make up the majority of churchgoers of whatsoever religious denomination. And we ain't got to go there at any time. We choose not to do so if we choose life over death. The rod is the way that leads to destruction. The nail is the way that leads to life. And few that be that bind. Then what was I about to say that? Anyway, don't. Let me nip this in the bud. So far as the basic intro as an introduction before I were to get to speaking upon some such a subject matter, and regardless if it is of issue at hand, pardon pun none was intended, none had been meant, and no offense or no disrespect is meant to be directed against any of the many different races of, past, present, or future sexual assault victims, rape victims, of whatsoever walks of life or whatever factions of society, lifestyle preferences, all of the same that be said and stated for the record, or in addition, and none to be directed against any murder victim, offenses, disrespect, or whatever I would say. But then, for whatever given argument, with all the many different views and opinions associated with some such, something to be debated, be it a controversy or not, be it one that is something of a plague upon any given society or country or nation that has yet to be resolved if it has not been already, or be able to speak upon a few topics of discussions of a nature of communications or dialogue, but then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver And hopefully with that much less, oh, excuse me, not the real. Hopefully with that much less usages of a spleeters of profanity, Prince Peace continue to regulate my mind compared to our Prince documents to confuse it. No, yeah, then with that much more, in other words, cuss words to simply say, okay, and therefore let it be said and unstated for record. Then hopefully likewise as well are the same, whereas there would be less of an opportunity or a chance for me myself that my person or a person of my same self to be mild and all. However, said, you know, like at the same time, a drunken sailor on shore, but then as a prodigal son being the lesser two evils, playing the part of the devil's advocate. God forbid, you know. So I say to you all, my social media family who are of whatsoever races, but then not necessarily of whatever walks of life, fashions, or societal lifestyle preferences, and being of the old and young alike, of both two sexual genders of males and females, representing the human species as we have it and or the global community. For this post 911 era of a new millennium, this apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight compared on to how formerly previously or prior to then. It was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. If not better yet, to be said to be feeling all right. Or if not, best of all, to be said to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, too blessed to possibly become and be stressed. You and yours and family and friends, and hopefully me and mine likewise as well, all the same for it though. Well, so I say, regardless of whether or not that my person is speaking correct, proper standard English grammar, being of the American dialect of some or such qualities and quantities or not, be I speaking the King's English or street slang for that matter. The bottom line is, I wish you all well. Even so, some or such of you, if not all, believe it or not, of the likes of you internet trolls, if there is a possible potential chance that the likes of y'all just can or could possibly get a new lease on life only after somebody else were to think to pray for you, whoever or how many for that matter. Because life is too short to be engaged in somebody else's foolishness or nonsense or garbage or mess or whatever I said. And it's too hot in the summertime for that, you know, and too cold in the wintertime to be going through all those changes with somebody else just being because, another person thrives on chaos, mayhem, and wants to attempt to make another person's life or other people's lives a living damn hell. Whereas it should not, be that being the case in the situation, You hear what I'm saying? Because life is too short, and sometimes the weather temps can be just so overwhelming, but not altogether. Unfortunately, the elderly or senior citizens are dropping off like flies more than their rival counterparts like youngins, especially in this day and age. That's some such good one time. With there being, according to biblical prophecy, wars and rumors of wars, pestilences and diseases, natural and man-made disasters, spiritual wickedness in high places, a day and age of lawlessness. Anyway, though, but then the news reports, the broadcast, is something to complement those matters in. As I'm trying to listen to one, if not watch it likewise. You know. Anyway, though, they're speaking upon something of a teacher who was having sexual liaisons with an underage minor. This is a older white girl of a mature adult, grown adult, mature adult, a mature grown adult Caucasian woman who had engaged in foreplay and actual sexual intercourse, or is it idiot course of an intimate, sensual, sexual nature. She had real life sex education with an underage male minor of a non-white male being of an ethnic minority person representing the masculine gender of the human species, of one of her high school students being of whom she was teaching and tutoring. And she most recently passed away from the big C. For a minute there, I was kind of wondering, did she get it by the corona fag virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic, or the much more familiar homo or faggot disease, being of HIV or AIDS or some kind of sexual disease. But it turns out that she passed away from the big C, you know. But in the meantime, before she went out of this world, she was getting it on something strong, with some young male of underage minor. And you know that when white girls go black, they don't go back. And it was a underage black male person. It was an underage minor of a black male person that this school teacher of a grown adult white woman was having sexual liaison with. Mary Kay something. Oh, when the loving is strong, yeah, you gotta get it going on. Boom, 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 boom. She ain't too proud to be. I'm a little shorter, but would you be willing to accept can I get some on credit? Because I ain't too proud to beg. And you know that the average white girl wants to hop in the sack with a brother. I guess to make up for all those times, white boys was always raping the sisters of the non-white females at random anytime they felt like it. Even up into the civil rights movement era. And nowadays it's much harder for them to do so, regardless of how there are more, sisters upon the premises properties of corporate America, of some such atmospheres for the different business companies, for its premises properties, be it public or private, and likewise for, some such for academia or for scholastics to be pursued, in regard and reference to education, where white boys still have to pick up the Phillies, especially when black, Hispanic, and Asian sisters gotta compete with white girls to be wooed by white boys upon premises properties, for the different job sites of corporate America, the big business companies, and for schools of higher education, of colleges and universities, facilities, be it public or private, premises, properties, real estate. I think that was what I was really meaning to speak upon, because I'm supposed to be like, mouth not for the greater glory of our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah delivered, but It's something to think about regarding and or to discuss. Whereas there's still more brothers of the non-white males out here selling drugs. Not all of us, but more than quite a few than ever before compared to the white boys. Whereas we corner the market when it comes to that being at the maximum level, whereas white boys be at the minimum when it comes to doing something like that. But unfortunately, the white boys are still the very ones who corner the market when it comes to physical actions of socially unacceptable and criminally illegal sexual assaults or rapes. And the irony of it is, that likewise they corner the market when it comes to getting those get out of jail free cards. You know, then because of white privilege being of a double standard or racial profiling that works in their favor or to their advantage, compared to how it would be a disadvantage to non-white males or the ethnic minorities. And that's pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Now they're talking about another Karen. This one was doing the total opposite when it comes to a non-white black male. Whereas she was like threatening to call the police on a black male for telling her to make sure her dog is on a leash, her pet that she owns as the pet's owner, compared to how the other white girl with possible and potential closet Karen was engaged in a sexual liaison with an underage non-white male of a black brother of a minor, because she was going about it to compliment the that one or more than compliment one and more or more than a couple few vintage classic pop culture song numbers. Like say for example this one. Get your freak on, get your freak on. I put it in your mouth and watch you spit it out. Holla, holla. And like when the brothers be going for their tails like real life quagmires. Diggity, diggity. Diggity, 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 diggity. Diggity, diggity. But then, without love, it ain't much. Oh, so much for that. Oh, excuse me, not that many. Yeah, so I'm just chilling, y'all. I'm just chilling. Y'all don't mind if I take my shirt off? I should be doing cross. Cross. He's on the main line. Tell her what you want. On a hill far away, stood an old rugged cross. Oh my God. Man. Pootie Pie ain't got nothing on me. I think he getting paid like, what is it? Hundreds, thousands, maybe millions with all his subscribers to be putting out something that ain't worth 2 cents. As far as I care, I mean, if it's not glorifying God, then, I ain't got to go that route to be like saying, well, you know what I'm saying? No, I do it like that. Say, man, he might well take a hike, because all of some such other in the world, it don't add up to a hill of beans when it comes to what is really more value or worth. Prince of Peace continue to regulate my mind compared to other Prince of Darkness. It seems to confuse my speech. And that venom which is spiritual for the great glory of God, our Lord and Savior Christ, Messiah delivered, and all that secular nonsense of the devil that can't compare on what God has to offer. Anybody who would think to profess faith in Him. Yeah. I can't get it in there. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Come on, Snoop Doggy Frog Hog. Can you praise the Lord with me? You can bet all those tunes for some such other of the secular world. Then how come you can't get it out for that being which is spiritual just as much, if not more? Or come think of it, he was supposed to have composed some kind of musical album that's supposed to be like giving praise to God, praise and worship to Him for the great glory of our Lord and Savior Christ Messiah delivered. But if he's still doing all that worldly stuff, then it wasn't worth a hill of beans. He just perpetrating like a prosperity preacher. Just get me thinking about how is Kanye West doing? Is he trying to really get right with God, or is he just running game? Knowing that in the world cannot last as long as what is of God. Know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. From the good ladies. From the good ladies. Praise the Lord. I don't know what you come to do, but I come to praise the Lord. Yeah, I don't know what you come to do, but I come to praise the Lord. Yeah, I don't know what you come to do, but I come to praise the Lord. Yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. To God. Man, I ain't getting paid to deliver this here message. You ungrateful, thankless, you honor all of y'all who watching me here. Then I ain't gotta go there. I ain't gotta be like you ungrateful bastards and bitches and whatsoever races and whatever walks of life, fashions of society, lifestyle preferences. You damn ungrateful, thankless cocksuckers. Man, I sell y'all asses to sweat on my damn balls. You ain't doing in that damn ball, man. Why the hell should I waste time and energy, precious attentions to be given to y'all when I could be giving it to somebody else that's gonna benefit me? Here's what I'm saying. Nah, we ain't gotta go there like that. Right. Man, all of y'all. We ain't gotta go there. Oh, it's been a hot and humid day, man. Oh man, nobody want to see that. I'm gonna turn to something else, y'all. Hold on. No, I gotta get this news. I'm just news. Lori saw his body camera footage of her husband being slapped and sworn at by a Joliet police officer. Wow. Tonight, Joliet police say Sergeant Javier Esqueda is now on administrative leave, accused of leaking the video. I'm glad that the whistleblower leaked the video. I came down here to the Joliet Police Department trying to get police reports, trying to get any information, and I can get not one piece of information. The medical examiner's report says Lori died of fentanyl-induced intoxication, but Lori's widow says the video shows officers suffocating her husband and jamming a collapsible baton down his throat, removing several plastic bags police say contain drugs. In an extensive statement, Joliet Police Chief said in part, Eric Lurie's death. Well, you black, Hispanic, and Asian brothers, you heard that in the news. You know not to go to Joliet anytime too soon unless you want to become subjected to experiencing some lethal or dangerous racial profiling of excessive force coming from the likes of lousy, dirty cops Be they white boys or racist, redneck, Hispanics or Asians coming off like the much more familiar Klansmen, neo-Nazis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Did you hear that? Somebody had defaced. Was that the Black Lives Matter mural in Washington D.C.? They erased the Black Lives Matter and put All Lives Matter. Get out of here. Then all lives do matter. It's just that in times like these, blacks have got to bring it to the attentions of everybody much more. How they or we, I can say it both ways, and that's supposed to be a mixed breed. Some of us blacks more than other ones. We got to bring it to the attentions of others that much more. How we have become subjected to experiencing, you know, social injustices. You know what I'm saying? Hold that thought, y'all. Sorry about that. That's just the way it is. You know, we got to be about being down for or up on it for the cause. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Yes, you know what I'm saying? We got to represent you, me. We got to represent all this here about being together for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be about the cause. We gotta especially look out for our own elderly and younger siblings. Nobody, I said nobody can help us but us for us. We gotta diss that one line about, you know, snitches or bitches get stitches, something like that. Snitches get stitches, whatever. You gotta start tricking on some of such of our own, acting ever so foul, misrepresenting our own peeps and folks, you know. Then because of the ones who are the most harassed, intimidated, and persecuted are the many different members of the 10 lost tribes of Israel, of the black Hebrew Israelites. We the real Jews. hmm hmm We, nobody else. Those fake Jews, or racist, redneck, Zionists, European kite bastards and bitches that stole our lands in the Middle East and our identity. They the phony Jews. They the fake Jews. We the real Jews. I'm sorry about the cussing squint, but I think y'all get the general. All of y'all get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth. Because the fact of the matter, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you. The fact of the matter that we is the real Jews. Yes, we are. Oh yeah, baby. You better believe it. Whoa, whoa. Oh man, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing the news at the moment, y'all. I'm gonna have to change the channel, but I try to get a daily doses of it. I try not to watch it. Well, for one thing, I try not to watch it too early in the morning because I don't want to start my day off light. And then another thing, I don't want to watch too late in the evening because I don't want to have any more nightmares than what I myself, being that my person, could already possibly become subjected to experiencing. You know that is. You know that's right. You know how that is. After all, it would be bad enough. Is that what I'm saying? No, it'd be even worse if I was still an unbeliever, non-believer, and be going through changes. So how much more? No, it would be bad enough. Rather than what I mean, say my bad correction. If I would be going through changes as a believer in God, then it possibly becomes subjected to experiencing that much more some such changes as an unbeliever, non-believer. Yeah, we gotta give it a God, y'all. Yeah, give it a God, give it a God, give it a God, y'all. I know this is particular social media broadcast may be going quite contrary to or contradict what I said much earlier, but then I really do want to have more broadcasts being in which are educating and enlightening much rather than instead possibly, merely or, at the most entertain. I ain't with that program so much and vice versa. You know how I roll? Huh? Oh, do you or don't you? Huh? Seriously though, nobody can help us but us, for us, for ourselves. You hear what I do? Yo, you hear me? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You gotta grow up, grow up, grow up. Grow up, I said, grow up, grow up, grow up. You gotta grow up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Grow up, I say. Grow up. Grow up. Grow. 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 Grow up. Don't make me slap that. Don't make me slap that. Grow up. Yeah. Yeah. Me. Yeah. Out of that. How many more minutes we got? How many more minutes we gotta go? Should I wrap this up here, y'all? Oh man, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing all this discouraging, depressing news, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hold that thought. I gotta get something. Getting something else on TV to watch and listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like, then you see what this is. It's back here. Oh, yeah. This is describing a neighbor from hell. Faggot, you'll call it faggot. SOB bastard. Or punk homo. So I'm trying to say without the cussing, when I'm using some without, making use or without the use of the physical profanity. This is describing his caveman brainwashed, brainless self. All this here that you see, 6-page letter. No, he's not the love of my life like somebody else. Try not to do all the negative. And be more of a positive person as I am, be it for business or for pleasure. She wrote me a 6-page letter. She called me on the phone. And then she got to talking about the weather. I don't want to hear about some hot weather temps in the summertime or cold weather temps in the wintertime. Kitty, yo, don't you know that's woman? Don't you know that's wrong? I don't want to hear about the news too soon or too late. Kitty, old woman, don't you know that's wrong? Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum. Putty Pie, give me some of your money, man. If I can put it to good use, you just wasting it, man. All that secular stuff where you should be funneling it into something dealing with your spiritual. Oh, that thought, y'all. Hey, but then I may have to wrap this up and get back with y'all later, because mainly or mostly for this one particular present social media broadcast, I've been sounding goofy as I don't know what. More about entertainment than education and enlightenment. So I guess I am going to just go ahead and wrap this up within the next 5 or 10 minutes. As I will give y'all the intro, and then I will speak upon some of such subject matter, be the a couple, few or four more for that matter, and then I will get a conclusion. So let me just wrap this up because I'm about to get down to my birthday suit altogether practically. About to come on up all these clothes and practically, if not possibly, lay butt naked on my bed or on my cot, whatever. But then what I ordered for a roller weight bed, it has yet to come to my place resident address. Okay, for the present one, something similar to a fan and an AC. Well, it's supposed to be a cross between, it's supposed to be in between, it's supposed to be a concoction of something that is between a fan and an AC as an air conditioner. I yet to have that at that order off of both of them two item products. You know, I'm about to get down to my undies. I know that much to cool off in front of the fan. I'm gonna wrap this up here and now, y'all. You hear? I'm gonna speed dial this here. So word up. If you haven't gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, I'm saying this here, regardless of whether or not I'm inspired to do so, especially if I am, or even if I would have to force myself to say this here and that is. If you haven't gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing and realizing what He Himself had done upon the cross of Calvary, on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some such Roman soldiers, the same cross of Calvary, as they were commissioned by their superiors, be they religious or otherwise, and whereas he went to cross Calvary to become that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So if any of us being of whatsoever race and whatever walks life, fashion, or society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old, young alike, of both two sexual genders, males and females, representing the human species and our global community within this post 911 era of a new millennium, apocalyptic day and age, in which the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes to midnight, compared on how formerly previously or prior to then was a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prepared times. Hey, how do you all like my new watch? Things are gonna be different around here. I had to adjust it again so I could switch it back over to civilian time to the military time. But anyway, getting back to some of such others, I think of it with that in my mind, to try to backtrack here. Purpose is being, I can go on following to continue from where and when I last left off so that I can finish up as a complete formula, I thought in the same sense of the word. But then, nevertheless, whereas he went to cross Calvary to become that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So any of us, as I was saying before, so I say again, being of whatsoever races and whatever walks of life, fashion, society, lifestyle preferences, being of old, young alike, of both two sexual genders, males and females, representing the human species and or the global community within this post 911 era of our new millennium apocalyptic day and nation, where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes midnight, compared on our former previous prior to then, it was at a quarter midnight. Or these rather biblically prepared time would have professed some of such faith in Him. From there, we will become and be blessed and one God, nothing more, always one. First and foremost, with His salvation being on which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly hope to get into the kingdom of heaven, be considered as citizens thereof. And second of all, with His deliverance, whereas while we're here, we could possibly become and be blessed regardless, especially if and when we make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter. But we don't have to worry about our final outcome, of a destination to be the results of developments of that being the likes of unbelievers and non-believers or unsaved ones having rejected so great a salvation, having refused to accept Christ as their personal Lord and Savior, whereas from there they would go to damn hell and be there, for all eternity to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and his demons, being the majority that do go to hell compared to how the few, being of whom could possibly become subject to experiencing one of those beyond and back experiences, will get a chance to come back upon the planet Earth or into the world to, once again consider or give a serious thought to whether or not they want to accept Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. And hopefully they would think to do just that than to reject again, then because, you don't get so many chances, because it only takes one chance to blow it, because you don't know what the next 24 hours could hold for you, It used to be an old saying, here today, gone tomorrow. I said, here today, gone tomorrow. Now it's here today, gone today, You have to accept Christ as your personal Lord and Savior while He's still here, while He's still upon this planet Earth, in the land of the living, the supposed so-called land of the living that cannot compare to the real land of the living elsewhere, which is many more times more real or realer, But anyway, though, I'm just glad that I did accept Christ as my personal Lord and Savior before it would have become too late, much too late, because you never know if you could possibly be walking down the street and then a 2-ton automobile or motor vehicle of some kind, sort of type or make a model could jump the curb during some such time while doing a U-turn while you're a pedestrian on the sidewalk who has the right of way, who has the lights, then that two-ton motor vehicle could crash into you, causing a major injury to yourself after you would have become subject to experiencing a collision with it and have a major accident and be on a hospital bed during surgery, breathing your last. And then from 1 minute you in the world, next minute you in another world. You crossed over and you're in hell because you don't have the blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah deliverer, upon and within your soul. And people in hell do want ice water. But then there's really no unbelievers and unbelievers in hell. I know some of you are saying, how you sound? I mean, don't you think you're contradicting yourself? No, I'm not. And I'm sure others would agree with me compared to how still others would disagree. Then because once any unsaved unbelievers and unbelievers go to damn hell, they automatically immediately become believers in God. But then they're having professed faith in God, our Lord and Savior Christ, Messiah deliverer, only after they went to hell won't count for anything. Because they're supposed to do that before they would exit this world. Here, while they're still here in this world, unless they were to re-enter this world, if they were to become one of the few persons who could possibly go to damn hell, then come back in the world through the good graces of God, then be given a second chance to decide whether or not they want to accept Christ's salvation. Otherwise, the majority they go to damn hell are there to stay, you know. And it's an awful thing to fall into the hands of the living God and don't have the blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah deliverer, upon and within your soul. Whereas I would be like saying from there, see ya, don't wanna be ya. You hear what I'm saying? Because you could be like frying with Martha and Snoop Doggy, dog, frog, hog. Be like saying, oh, look, Martha, I can cry. Oh, God. To be on that Titanic voyage to destruction, to devastation, to be destroyed over and over again in the lake of fire down hell. That's spooky. Spooky, 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 spooky. John 3:16, baby. Like MasterCard don't leave home without it. Christ's salvation don't leave the world without it. Peace.